Does anyone else need a Xanax after that? Well, welcome, viewing public. I just got done watching the amazing heart attack invoking results show for the top 13 being revealed. Welcome to Peace, Love, and Idol episode 6. It is well after midnight and I need to get this video on the road, but wow, they really know how to drag out a show and make me throw things at the television. I'm close to the camera because I am still feeling like I need a Xanax after that episode. Whoa. So, they 2 hours and they needed every second of that. I felt myself being really pissed that I didn't take the DVR's advice and give it an extra 5 minutes, but it made it just in on the DVR. I had to work tonight. Sorry for the dressy shirt, but the blue looks good on camera. So anyway, we're gonna get right into this bitch. Basically, they got right into it. Fast forwarded all the crap in the beginning, so I don't really know what happened. I wasn't really trying to listen to all the bullshit. So, we're going to take a group of 25, we're going to make it 13, so about half are leaving. 5 top vote getters in the girls, 5 top vote getters in the boys, and 3 wild cards, which come from a group of 6 singers. Sing for your life. So, the first group they brought down from the chairs was Chase, Jeremy, and Phil. My prediction, just from the group, not who I really wanted to go. My prediction was that just Phil, out of those 3, would make it. They showed the performances from Tuesday and then had Jimmy Iovine comment. He ripped Chase a new one. I think his comment was meant for both Jeremy and Chase, because, correct me if I'm wrong, but I didn't see him say anything about Jeremy, alone after his performance. And he said that Pretty Faces won't do anything, it wasn't original. And he liked Phil, and he said that he would sign him today, and I said out loud, if Jimmy Iovine wanted to sign me today, although they probably already had to sign paperwork, maybe they need to sign more now. What is my ponytail doing? I'd be like, peace, where's the contract from Jimmy Iovine, the biggest fucking A&R producer on the planet? Neither here nor there. So, results came down, and I was correct. Phil Phillips was the first person in the top 13, and both Jeremy and Chase were sent back to the chairs. Now, it didn't take a brainchild to figure out that J-Lo was going to use one of her wild cards for Jeremy, so, deep in his heart, he knew he was all good. I knew he was, so, anyway. So the next group that Ryan brought down was Jessica, Holly, Brielle, and Hallie. And my prediction based on that group was that Jessica and Holly would make it, and that's before I even know if 2 were making it or not. But I figured with 4 girls, 2 would make it. So Jimmy Iovine liked Holly. He said that she had a lot of power and just needs the right material and some coaching. He liked Brielle but didn't like her song choice. He liked Hallie but was not sure that people would vote for her. And he said that Jessica Sanchez had talent from A to Z and that he would sign her on the spot as well. Again, I would have said, hold the phone. I'm right here, son. So, Ryan gave the results. Brielle was a no. Hallie was a no, leaving Jessica and Holly in the top 13. 2 for 2, bitches. So the next group was Joshua, Heejun, and Adam. And out of the 3, I thought only 1 would be making it, and my prediction was Joshua. And I was wrong. 2 made it. Jimmy thought that Joshua was the real deal, and that he looks forward to working with him, which I think is a great compliment. About Adam, he said that he wasn't so sure that the white guy that he is and the supposed black woman living inside of him were in agreement with each other, and I totally agree, because I don't think there's a black woman living inside of him, and I think if he would have chosen a different song on Tuesday, that this might be a different top 13. And he said that he was confused by Haejun and that he's funny and he gets the shtick, but it's a singing competition and not America's Best Comedian. And Haejun just laughed it off and did his regular thing. The joke's on Jimmy Iovine because Joshua made it out of that group and so did Haejun. That was my first surprise of the night because I just didn't feel his vocal was strong enough. I thought, just to name a few that were better than him, that did end up making it, Aaron, Creighton. I just didn't think it was strong enough. Yeah, he's a nice guy. He's hilarious. He's a good person. But I didn't think he was strong enough. And he's lucky that America likes him and that he got so much camera time because that's going to save him. He's going to stay in the competition way past people with better voices. Mark my words. He won't win. But he'll stay around half. He'll make the tour. Good for him. He's a nice guy. So then that left Adam going back to the chairs. And I said, wow, after that, because I really didn't see that. I thought it would only be one. And so I was half right. The next group was the country girls, Bailey, Chelsea, and Skylar, along with Shannon. And my prediction for that was that Shannon and Skylar would make it. I'll even show you my book. So they showed their clips, and Jimmy Iovine thought that Skylar mixed soul and country for the perfect blend of rock and roll, and he liked her, and he would have voted for her. And I think that is great for her, and I agree. Watching it back, just the clip too, I liked it even more the second time. He said that Bailey had all the right pieces, but they just didn't come together. And he's right. She's gorgeous. She does have the potential to have a great voice. Like I mentioned in yesterday's video, her Bed of Roses audition was so good. I don't know why she didn't. I don't know. It's just terrible. And at least she admitted it in the clips they showed. Like, when Ryan asked her, what would you have done? She was like, sang in tune. Like, you can't deny it. Like, later on, Haley and Eben, try to defend their performances. Just come out and be real and be like, yo, I sucked at it. Like, if I make it somehow, come see me and tour, whatever. Now you're beat. You can't come back to American Idol, so you better quick pitch onto the X Factor auditions and voice because you're beat. And he thought Chelsea had a nice voice, but she was unoriginal, and that Carrie Underwood karaoke is not going to cut it. And when watching it back, I had her at the bottom anyway. I had her at 11. But watching it back, it was really pitchy, and I didn't notice that the first time. Pardon me, but the way my ponytail looks on this frickin' camera right now is making me crazy. Oh god, it's no better. I just came home from work and I had to watch it on DVR. Whatever. Sorry, I don't care. And then Shannon, Jimmy felt that she was more dressed for a prom, but he liked her, and she needs a stylist, and that she'll stay. So Ryan let the girls know that Shannon and Skylar were going to be moving on to the top 13, and Bailey and Chelsea could take a seat. And therefore, I was right again. It's much easier to predict it when they're down there in the groups than who you just want to go through. But at this point, the only person who I didn't have, that's not true. I didn't have Phil in my top. If my ideal rankings went through, I didn't have Phil in the top, and I didn't have Haejun in the top. But everyone else, I did. So, after this commercial break, I realized that, holy shit, there's only 3 more spots left in the top 10. And I realized, when they called this next group of guys down, that both DeAndre and Colton were going to be in the same group. And at this moment, I thought that only one of them would make it because they called down a group of 3 guys, which was Aaron, Creighton, and Reed, which is a hard group. Because upon first look, I was like, wow, I like Aaron the most out of them. It's just my personal opinion. But I honestly had no idea. Then they showed Jimmy's thoughts. And Jimmy did not like Reed. He said he was cabaret, and it wasn't his favorite. And I agree. I think like he really, it's hard to tell if he has a good singing voice or if he's more just really talented all around musician who could like front a band or something like that, you know? He thought Aaron was cheesy and he called him Don Cheadle, which is ironic. I just watched an old Don Cheadle movie today from 1996. And I was just like sometimes Jimmy Iovine ticks me off when he's mentoring, and this is just the start of it. Like, cheesy. Like, did you hear how fucking spot on that was? Douche nozzle. And he thought that Creighton was interesting, but he also agreed that his top end is screechy and annoying. So, I mean, I can't fault him for that. I thought that as well. But he tried really hard not to so much show that, I thought. Vocally, like if I'm like I love Aaron, but I thought that Creighton would make it before Reed. But I felt like the comments were taking really long, and I wrote. I'm gonna be able to show you. Could it be no one? You see it right there. Could it be no one? Like, could no one possibly make it from this group? Leaving my hopes and dreams of both Colton and DeAndre making it off the bat a reality? That was just me jotting. And as it turns out, none of those motherfuckers made it. I could not believe that I just threw that out there and it was right. Whoa! That was another whoa moment. I believe I threw my pen at that point. I threw a lot of things coming up from this point on. So that's when I started to have palpitations of excitement and anticipated anger. So then the next group was Elise, Erica, Haley, and Jen. And of that four, only one was going to make it. Team Elise, I mean, duh. Like, we all knew Haley was not going to make it, so we might as well just sent her first. But Erica, Elise, and Jen were all big favorites. But it's so crazy when it comes down to voting. I mean, it really comes down to, did your people vote enough for you? Like, I voted for Colton 10 times. Was that enough times? I don't know. I voted for Elise 5 times. Was that enough times? You start questioning. And I didn't really even vote. I voted like season 1, like Kelly Clarkson. And then I voted in like Carrie Underwood season, but I wanted Bo Bice. I don't really know what I was smoking then. And I voted for Elliot Yamin. I would like vote for people if I felt like that. I voted for Adam Lambert Avi. Didn't work. David Cook. I didn't vote for anyone in season 9 because that piece of shit sucked. And I voted last year for Haley and Stefano. But I don't vote like regularly, especially at this stage. I'm not usually a voter, so it doesn't even give me any reason to be able to bitch. But anyway, I was freaking out. So they played their performances, and I'm just looking at my other notes. Oh, my other notes. Oh, my prediction was Elise. Well, first I forgot that there was only one spot. So I said Elise and Erica because that's who I wanted, but I was thinking it might have been Jen. And then I remembered, oh balls, there's only one more spot left, so going with Elise. I mean, just based on the performance, she killed it. I also felt like Erica's dress on television, she's gonna hate herself because I feel like we're built similarly, and strapless is tough with the big arms up top. I have the same problem, and it just was bad. It made her look like last night. I thought she looked like she lost weight since the auditions. That dress was, and it was the dress, because her face still looked good, but woo, girlfriend, no more strapless taffeta. From me to you, big girl club. Thicker girls club. I'm not gonna say big because I don't think either one of us are big, but you get the point. I'm digressing because I'm just still so jazzed up. So they played the performances, and Jimmy is mean. He said about Jen that her vocal pyrotechnics were to cover up the fact that she has no soul. I thought that was mean. He liked Erica, and he felt the restraint was good. He was mad at the judges for telling her to push it harder. Which is true. I mean, you don't always want to come out the gate with vocal pyrotechnics. I mean, she can do them. No, I'll wait. Haley, duh. He thought she was out of tune and robotic and mimicking. Duh. We saw that. She was terrible. Terrible. Someone is always terrible that, like, you didn't know could be so terrible. It just always happens. And we had one in each. And Elise, he liked her. He agreed with the judges. He just feels like she needs to watch the pushing because it's a long competition, which is true. You don't want to find out you have a polyp in fucking week 3 and you're beat, you know? So the results were in, and of course, Haley, off the bat, no, you're not in. Duh. Next up was Erica, and she wasn't in either. But I had hope for the wild card round for her. And then it came down to Elise and Jen, who sang the same song, and Elise prevailed. Yay! I was excited. I didn't like her hat, but it's very her. So I was very happy with that. And then it came down to DeAndre, Eben, Colton, and Jermaine. I liked Jermaine, but I was confident. My prediction was, of course, Colton and DeAndre. And I felt confident that Jermaine, they would bring him back for the wild card because they brought him back. So clearly they're going to give him the most chances because A, they don't want to be wrong, and 2, he sang his ass off on Tuesday. So Ryan tries to build suspense and goes right into the results, and I'm like, whoa, they're not going to play the Jimmy comments, and it was just to go to commercial. And they came back and they played the performances. And Jimmy liked Jermaine and said he could listen to an entire album of him and he'd be rooting for him. And I agree. It may not be super duper radio friendly. I was just talking to my mom about this today. About Javier Colon, the winner of The Voice, who isn't getting much radio airplay in this area. And his album is like not as good as I'd hoped. I like it. There's definitely tracks that stand out. But we don't have like adult contemporary radio anymore. There aren't barely any stations anymore. It's like the Ben FMs that, you know, are computer generated. They don't have DJs and they play anything and everything, like, they just mix a whole bunch of shit together and whatever comes out. Like, it's like iPod shuffle basically. And then you have your top 40 pop stations, you have your R&B rap stations, and you have your country stations. There's only like 1, 2 surviving rock stations right now. One's alternative, and one is more classic rock, but does play, you know, the newer rock of today. Rock is like a dying fucking musical genre, which just blows my mind. We don't have those like stations that we used to have when I was growing up that played like Michael Bublé. Yes, he gets played on pop radio now, but like there would have been a certain place for like pop folk acoustic songwriters, you know, like that's why I feel like Javier Colon would have been perfect for that. I would feel like Jermaine, like Luther back in the day on the adult contemporary stations, you know. I wouldn't have ever come across Luther if he wasn't played in a popular format. I wasn't listening to straight R&B radio when I was 10. So, I think he may not do so good on radio, but people would kill to listen to that on albums, and he could be a gospel singer. I mean, there's many more genres that he can do that in. So I agreed with Jimmy on that one. Sorry for the long-winded. He said that DeAndre has enormous potential, but that he wasn't ready to take on, you know, Philip Bailey's high notes and Earth, Wind & Fire, and I agree. I really, after thinking about it, like, was adamant that that song choice was going to be disastrous for him. He thinks Eben is talented, but he's not ready at all, which I totally agree. And he mentioned the thing that I said yesterday. He cannot come back now. He said, I wish he could come back, but he can't. He wants to change the rules of the show. I say, sorry for you. If the judges fuck around and put you in the top 24, well, then they put you in the top 24. I would be like, if you have any doubt that I'm going to get stomped up and trampled on, eaten and thrown up in the top 24, leave my ass in Vegas because I will come back. You know, if Bailey Brown would have made it through 6 years ago, she wouldn't have been able to suck now. You know what I mean? So, and he felt that Colton was talented, but he didn't want to do too much too soon. But I thought the piano jumping was fabulous, but I think I'm biased. Love him. I was like I was having legit heart palpitations during this group because I was like, duh, Eben wasn't making it through. But so I thought duh. But then I started thinking about all the little woo girls in the audience that were screaming at the top of their lungs when he came out. I'm like, oh, holy shit. They just dialed for 2 hours straight till their fingers fell off while their friend voted online and the other one texted. Oh, alright. So, love Colton's deep V, by the way. T-shirt. Anyway, so they give the results and they start with DeAndre and he gets a no. So I throw my pen and a newspaper across this, not whole newspaper, a little newspaper from the mail tonight, across the room because I want to die at this point. But I'm like, alright, get a wild card, but still I'm like, now I have to sweat about my number 2 favorite. Then, okay, I have this on DVR. Ryan says to Colton, and I'm not even thinking at this point because I'm still ticked off about the DeAndre thing. He says to Colton, you are not, and I get so mad, I jump up from the couch to go run around the house. I don't know what I was going to do. And I hit some button on the Comcast remote that like a DVD. It went back to the beginning after that commercial for some reason. So I literally didn't hear any words after you are not. So after I noticed that I hit that, I came back and had to fast forward, and I'm thinking, maybe he said, you are not going home, or something, because that's what they always do. So, lo and behold, I press play, and that is in fact what Ryan said. Colton made the top 13, all is right in my world. Well, almost. So then, we're down to Jermaine and Eben, and I'm literally thinking, stop the clock, this little bitch is gonna make it! Who defended his performance, just come out and say you sucked. Same thing with Haley. I will not say that I would have changed anything, bitch. Yes, you would have. You would have sang in tune and picked a different song. And not only the doily tonight, if I can steal a line from my favorite movie, Beyonce. Because I wasn't feeling confident that Jermaine would represent from Jersey and get the votes. But all my overthinking was for the birds, because Jermaine made it through, and Eben went back to the chairs, as it should be. So, at that point, we have our top 10, and now it is time for the wild card results. And now I need to take a sip of drink, because I'm just talking so fast. I hope you can understand me when I watch this back, because I'm not retaping it. So I'll apologize now if I'm talking too fast and you can't understand. But it's 12:30, and I'm wired. Okay. So, here we go. At this point, I'm just dying. Listen, I just need DeAndre to get a shot. So I know he will do us proud. So I thought to myself, I nailed that DeAndre's song choice killed him. I mean, the little girls love him. They didn't know what he sang, and he had too much falsetto. And sometimes you can't hear his falsetto; it's not that powerful. It's weird, and other times it is. Anyway, so my prediction prior to finding out, I know they went 1-1-1, but I just did a prediction off the bat, and I thought the judges would choose Jen Hirsch, DeAndre, Creighton, Jeremy, Duff, Erica, and Aaron. That was my hope. That was my prediction of the top 6 who get to sing for their life. So, first one was told to us by Randy, and it was Jen Hirsch, so ding ding ding. And she sang Oh Darlin' by the Beatles, great song. I thought to myself, maybe she chose that because Steven said that he loved that song during, who was Hollywood Week, someone saying? Oh no. I'm now confusing Idol with The Voice. That was Adam telling it to someone else. Scratch that. Blue. So Jen Hirsch sang "Oh Darling" by the Beatles, and she did her thing. She really did. She has a great voice. It's just like I don't want to throw my pen at the TV or make the face. Like, it's really good, but I don't know. And I like that she was honest. She was like, I just didn't stand out last night. Like, she didn't. She faded into the middle, you know? So it was really good, but it was the first one, so I didn't want to, like, get excited. And it didn't really excite me, like, out of my chair. So next was Jeremy Rosado, and I'm thinking to myself, it doesn't even, like, duh, like, it's J-Lo's choice. And it doesn't make a fuck. She loves him. She's gonna literally bitch to the point where she's like, I'm walking off the show if he doesn't get in. I don't know why she loves him so much. I mean, good for him, because that's what you want. But that's how she was with Stefano last year, so I can't complain. And I just want to mention, for the record, that no one will ever have a moment like Stefano had last year on the wild card. This is what I mean about a song you don't know. I had never heard that song before in my life. Now is one of my favorite songs. I listen to his rendition at least once a week. He sang like Jesus was coming out of his ass. It was like, oh. So no one will ever duplicate that moment for me. And I love him still, and I want to marry him. Such a cougar. So Jeremy sang "You Won't" by Carrie Underwood. Great song. But, cop out alert, you sang that in Vegas for your Stay Alive solo. Boo to you. I hate that they liked this song before. I'm going to sing it again. God. So, he was all emotional. The big notes were the bomb. I'll give him that. He hit the big notes. But he copped out and cried at the end and didn't get the last notes out. I don't know. I felt like he knew he had that shit in the bag. Like, J-Lo is all up on you. Could have sang the phone. We could have sang "I'm a Little Teapot." Should have been like, oh. So, it was alright for me. Again, I'm not a huge fan. He's very nice. He can sing. Nothing original about him for me at all. Like, he reminds me of someone that I know that can sing and does do that to me. Like, he reminds me of him in person, but difference with the person I know that he reminds me of is they have the ability to move me. I throw down the challenge, Jeremy. Move me. Okay, so next up was Brielle. Did not see this coming. Did not think they would give her another shot. And I was conflicted about it. So after, I forgot to mention this, Jimmy Iovine said like 5 times, well not 5, 3 times, that it's hard to take on Adele because there's a lot of Adele wannabes out there now, and they're like the most popular female songs. I know, I was in a karaoke contest in October, and it was literally me versus 300 people ages 10 to 40 singing "Someone Like You." I wanted to friggin' kill myself. I think one did "Rolling in the Deep," and one girl who was like 11 did "Set Fire to the Rain" and like killed it. But it was all Adele. And "Someone Like You," when you hear it, I'm gonna be realistic, 6 times in a span of an hour and a half is long. This is karaoke. So, sucks for her that that's the song she picked to rehearse during the day. Because, I mean, I wonder if it would be in the rules after seeing Jimmy say that. Be like, never mind, I'm going to sing something a cappella, like, because I'm uppy. You know? But show "Someone Like You," and I just don't think that's the right type of music for her voice. I've said it 50 times, and I'm going to say it again. It's going to be like my saying, just because you like someone's song and you like the way they sing it doesn't mean that you have the voice to sing it. I just came up with a song the other day that I didn't even realize that I really liked. I really liked the song If I Were a Boy by Beyonce. Can I sing that song? No. I tried. It's bad, but I love it. I'll give it a shot while I'm in the shower or sitting here. I wouldn't make a video of it because I can't sing like that. I can't sing like Beyonce. Don't sing Adele when you're Brielle Von Hubel. It was bad. It was pitchy. There were some cool things about it. I liked the grittiness she put into it, but it wasn't good. I applaud the judges for being honest that it wasn't good. Like, don't sit over there and sweat it, bitch. You're not making it. I would find it really hard to go over there and sit, knowing that they are not going to choose me unless everyone else bombs. But it wasn't good, so they wasted a pick. Next up was DeAndre. He looked so pissed, and nervous, and oh, they're gonna pick me to sing again. All the other people were singing. It was so funny. He had put his hair up and then he took it down again. I think he looked so much better with his hair back. Oh, yo, in 10 years, call me because you are hot. Like, I can't officially say you're hot because you're like 17 and I'm old. But, you can call me in 4 years, but call me in 10. Anyway, he sang Georgia on My Mind, and it was, I threw the newspaper again, I threw the pillow. It was so good. I don't even care. I said, you will be doing a disservice to this competition, friends, if you do not put him through. The boy's got talent. Loved it. Next up, in a shocking turn of events, because even though I predicted that she would get called, it was more just because I love her, Erica! Yay! And she did Edge of Glory, and I swear to God, we are musical soulmates, except for she has a way more interesting and fascinating tone than me. We love all the same songs, and she killed it, and she didn't even pull out all the stuff she said she was gonna, but it was still restrained and still so good. And she didn't go out of her comfort zone, she didn't try to sing notes that she couldn't sing. It was so good, it was perfect. I just loved it, I was so happy. And last but not least, now I really thought it should have been Creighton, and that's a lot coming from me because I never have been the biggest fan. But he really did win me over. And then I forgot that Reed was still up there, and he was such an early favorite. I should have guessed that they were gonna give the last spot to Reed. I just thought it was a shame for Aaron and Creighton because they were two really good singers that were left there, and it's just a matter of what season you get through on and who else is there. On season 9, why Aaron didn't try for season 9, I would love to ask him. I'm gonna follow him on Twitter or something. Because season 9 blew goats. Oh. So either one of them would have been a welcome addition to the top whatever of season 9. But we bid you a farewell. We both live in the city, so let's get together and do a show. So Reed comes up and he has to strip off his shirt, and then he's going to sing Use Me by Bill Withers, which is a great song. I don't think people know that the song that it is. I actually didn't know what the name of the song was, but I knew the song. Such a good song. And I think they were giving him this chance to sing a motherfucking song like a normal singer. Stop bopping around, stop scatting, stop doo-wopping, stop, and just sing. He didn't take that opportunity to just sing. I think maybe he said 4 words. If this was the first time you ever heard the song and you wanted to know what the fucking song's about, don't listen to the Reed Grimm version. And when the judges, the parts of it that were him singing, I thought were good. I would love to hear him sing a whole song. The closest we got was when he did Georgia on My Mind, and I think that was his best performance in Hollywood. Without the gimmicks and the craziness, he's not confident in his voice or something. And they were we just wanted to give you a chance. I wonder if he got what they were saying, We wanted to give you a chance to fucking show us that putting you in the recycle bin was a problem, but that he didn't rise to that occasion. But I was still nervous going into the picks that they would pick him because he's Reed and he was an early favorite. So let's see. Okay, I didn't have anything else to say, and we're on to the results. And at this point, I'm just really nervous because my DVR is saying 1 minute 56, 1 hour and 56 minutes had gone by. So I had 4 minutes left on the DVR because I'm an idiot and didn't extend it. And I was just hoping that they would get to the 3 who made it so I wouldn't have to go to the internet and find out. No. So, Randy is up first, and surprising to me, I mean, I really hoped that Erica and DeAndre would make it, and then I really thought that Jeremy was going to make it regardless. I didn't do a prediction, I think, because I was just so excited and crazy. But it was pretty obvious that J-Lo would stop at nothing to get him in the top 15. So, Randy was up, and I was hoping that he would say DeAndre, and instead he made my night and said Erica, and I was very, very happy. He was very happy with her performance. So, I'm very happy. I think she's great. So, at this point, when Erica gets through, 3 of my 4 favorites are through. So, J-Lo was up next, and again, as I mentioned, it didn't take a brain surgeon to know that she was going to put Jeremy through. Honestly, I think he will not make it to the tour. I think he's going to get kicked off in the 3 before the top 10. He's just now in this top group. He is, for me, the second weakest voice left in the competition. So, I don't know. Again, I just threw down the gauntlet and I told him to wow me. So, wow me. And Steven was up, and I was like, okay, like, if DeAndre doesn't get through, I really don't want to watch anymore, but I have to watch because I love Colton, and I love Erica, and I love Luis. But I don't have to worry because DeAndre made it through, thank God, because I was really ticked all of last season when everyone sucked that he did not make it. And I was so happy when he came back, and to see him go, it just broke my heart. But my heart's in one piece because all 4 of my favorites survive, which is more than I can say for some other people's favorites, and I'm sorry about that. So, we have a top 13, and next week they will be taking on, the boys will be singing Stevie Wonder, Love, like everyone knows. Stevie is one of my favorites, one of my inspirations, love singing his music, and the girls will be singing songs of Whitney Houston, which is great, but I think it's going to pose a little bit of a problem for, like, Elise and the Country Girls. Country Girls. There's only one Country Girl. Like, Holly's going to do great. Shannon will probably do great. Jessica is going to fucking kill. She's probably like, yes, Whitney Houston. So, it's just going to come down to song choice. And I think Stevie Wonder is just going to be great. Oh, I'm so excited. So, the top 13 are Elise, Erica, Colton, DeAndre, Jermaine, Heijun, Shannon, Holly, Phil Phillips, Josh, Jeremy, Jessica, and Skylar Lane. I think overall it's a really strong top 13. My really only big surprises were Heijun. I really didn't think his voice was strong enough, and Jeremy was a surprise, even though I knew that J-Lo was going to, like, ride that train to the end. Phil needs to pick up his game for me, because I didn't have him anywhere close to my top 5 last night. Watching it back, I liked it a little bit more, but he needs to just sing. I think his uniqueness will come out enough without changing every melody to every song. Thank you. So that's it. I'm excited that it's the theme rounds. These are my favorite ones to do vlog-wise. And I love to predict who's going to be in the bottom. And then have it be crazy. And like I said, don't worry. If my favorites do bad, I will admit it. But it won't stop me from voting for them. So, what'd you think? Where'd your favorites go? Are they home? Are they crying? Are they crying because they're happy? Let me know. Let me know what you think, please. I know people are watching, but I like feedback. I used to get mega comments when I wrote this blog. Give me some comments. So, I will see you next week. For those of you who watch The Voice, I will be doing that video probably Saturday or Sunday. Sometime before Monday. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed the show. And we'll see you next week for the top 13. Bye-bye.